Moments with God, a time of reflection for every day.
May 12th. Share your testimony. That which we have seen and heard declare we unto you, that ye also may have fellowship with us, and truly our fellowship is with the Father, and with his Son Jesus Christ. 1 John 1:3.
If you had to share your religious experience, what would you say? Would you say that you're doing much better with Jesus? Would you say that you can't believe you wasted so much time by not knowing the Lord? Or would you say that you deeply regret ever having found faith? What hurts you about leaving behind the things you used to enjoy before believing in the Bible? What testimony could you give of your faith? The Lord's command is to share his gospel of salvation with everyone, starting at home, and then with all those close to us, until we create an evangelical network that connects the world. But if our witness is not one of joy but rather of complaint, how can we proclaim the good news of salvation? How important it is, then, to know Jesus. To know him as more than a concept, more than a philosophy, more than an argument. To know him as a real person who is near, and to be able to experience that before and after having the experience of his salvation.
It's not about talking about Jesus for the sake of talking, nor is it about defending a religion fanatically. It's about being able to bear witness to how much good the gospel of Christ has done for us, how much guilt it has lifted from our shoulders, how many broken dreams it has restored, and how many decisions we've made with the Lord have been a great blessing. It's about sharing what we've experienced with Jesus.
If your heart is filled with regret for your faith, it's because you've only known the theory of truth, not the truth itself. For example, you may have learned how beautiful a life of holiness can be, but your heart loves sin and the things of this world, so you cannot be happy with Christ. If your desires are for pleasure, riches, and entertainment, then obviously God's law will seem like a heavy yoke you don't want to bear. It will always remind you that adultery, theft, greed, and so on are not for you, and you will always have thoughts that you were better off without Christ. On the other hand, if you learn to see Jesus in his pure, holy character and the joy that his salvation bestows, you will always have the joy of participating in the faith. If you live the Christian experience beyond mere theory, then you are truly knowing Jesus, and you can share your testimony of him.
It is our privilege to taste the sweetness of communion with a crucified and risen Savior. But for that to be possible, we must surrender ourselves to God.
Your plans, your dreams, your feelings, your very life, you must learn to place them in God's hands. Let his will come first, and then you will see how God transforms your life into the joy of his salvation.
Thank you for listening to this audio. We invite you to share with your contacts and visit the website BibleWell.com.